Welcome everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 5 of Resident Evil 2 the board game, and this is our setup round. We are going to be playing from the main board game scenario book. It's called Finding the Vaccine. So we're in the Raccoon Police Department. We're going to feature this time Ada Wong and HUNK, Human Unit No Kill. He comes from the Resident Evil 2 Fourth Survivor expansion. So in this case, we've escaped from the sewers. We're up into the basement labs, and we're going to try to get the power turned on into the laboratory and get the vaccine sample processed. So we'll do the rest of the setup. We've got zombies and evolved lickers in this one, so looking forward to jumping into the gameplay and in turn one. Okay, so we've got the basic board laid out. We're going to be doing the Finding the Vaccine Scenario Brief 7A, and it's going to have Ada Wong and HUNK, sort of like a mercenaries mission. So we've got these, both of these are two characters. Ada Wong is going to start in this area, and HUNK will start over in this area. He's probably coming up from the basement or something like that, right? So we can imagine we get the stairwell here. Actually, this is upstairs. Let's have her coming in. She's coming from the roof. Let's have her come in from there. And let's have HUNK come in from here. He's been down in the basement, let's say, because sort of like in the mercenaries mode of Resident Evil 2. So let's also get the lab. This is the lab right here, and we'll put the lab door in place. And we've got a lab key card that has to go into this space. So you can see the lab key card. We'll get that set up. We'll also go through the deck to set up. We've got two other electronic doors locked here and here. And these will have to be unlocked in order to access things. And we'll also go through our starting deck. So for starting cards, we get 2 first aid sprays, a shotgun, a handgun, and a knife. Handgun and a knife twice, and a grenade rocket launcher. So we can go through this and find grenade rocket launcher. Those will be those startups. And then we also have to set up our A and B decks that get placed throughout the grid. So let's jump into the description for this one, and I can go through these and get all those cards set up for both for our player characters as well as for our treasure that's throughout the board. Like for example, this lab key will be hidden in one of these areas noted by the deck here. So let's read the scenario. It says, "At last, the desperate flight through the sewers is over, but at what cost? Even as the prospect of salvation dawns on the horizon, comes the bitter resolution that the journey to the underground laboratory must be made in order to find a vaccine for the deadly G virus. In this scenario, the characters have made their way to the underground laboratory and must now find the base vaccine for the G virus and mix it using the van machine. The players successfully complete the scenario if all characters are on the tile marked as experimentation room, and one of the characters has the vaccine cartridge scenario item in their inventory." Okay, so the idea here is we've got to get the vaccine cartridge, bring it to the lab before the end of the turn. Experimental creatures, we've got the standard zombies here. So we've got a couple of zombies that we'll see throughout the scenario. And we also have these lickers. These are the evolved lickers. So we've got 2 of these evolved lickers. They'll come into play during this, and I'll kind of highlight the minis throughout the gameplay. Let's see what else we've got here. It says, at the beginning of the scenario, characters are isolated in 2 separate areas by their starting squares. They're represented by the scenario brief by this, okay? Each starting square has its own tension deck for characters beginning the deck, which is a tension deck for that area. Effects from each deck will only affect the tension deck for that area. Drawing the tough hide from the tension deck would not affect zombies in area 2. So we've got area 1 and area 2 basically, B4 and B5. Okay? Remember, if either tension deck runs out, the players lose. There's only 2 characters in this scenario, so we increase the ink ribbon pool by 1. Using an ink ribbon will reset only the tension deck for the area in which the ink ribbon is used. So they can use the ink ribbon to reset the tension deck. If they don't, the deck runs dry, the players lose. Once power is restored, both areas are connected again, and the playing area returns to normal. Shuffle the 2 tension decks together, draw piles together to create a single draw pile, and combine both tension decks' discard piles before placing them next to the draw pile. Okay, so we start out with 2 tension decks. We start out with a split scenario, and then we basically will merge the tension decks together. You can see that there's a lot of, we also have the yellow dice and yellow tile and amber tile where we use our Resident Evil die with the umbrella logo. Yellow tile ones are 6 is empty, 1 is a corpse, 4 is restless dead, 3 is +1 zombie, 2 is +1 zombie lurching forward, and umbrella sign is 2 zombies. And for the amber tiles, 2x corpses, 5 scent of death, 4 1 zombie plus a corpse, 3 2 zombies, and 2 zombies plus tainted wounds, and finally a liquor if you get the umbrella signal. So there's only 2 characters in this, so it's going to be harrowing. Let's also get their characters set up. So we'll have tension deck set up first. Let's do that. So let's get the I have to get Ada's character out as well. So these are our tension decks. And we've got HUNK's card already. We've got the liquor here. We need to evolve the liquor. We have zombie. No zombie dogs in this. We have Ada Wong and we have HUNK. So let's place them here on their boards. No Leon this round. And let's go through the rest of these tension deck cards here. And these we don't have to worry about for this scenario. So these are out for now. So let's take this scenario decks. So tension deck 1, we get 15 green cards. So let's go through and get those set. So tension deck 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tension deck 2 gets also 15 green cards. 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so we've got our 2 sets of green cards. And then from tension deck 1, we get No Escape. We get Echoes in the Darkness. We get Tough Hide. Tough Hide. And we get Persisting Unease. Persisting Unease. Here's Persisting. For deck 2, we get also the red cards. For deck 1, we get Rigor Mortis, Entangling Vines, Vigor Mortis, sorry, and Rising Fear. Rising Fear. Okay, so for deck 2, we get, again, No Escape. No Escape. Unnatural Strength. Tainted Wounds. And Crimson Thirst. Crimson Thirst. And then for red cards, we get Undead Ambush, Vigor Mortis, Hideous Screech, and Entangling Vine. So there's our two decks. This will be deck 1 here. So we'll put this in the area of, shuffle these up and put this in this area. And then deck 2. Okay, that's just about going to do it for setup. I'll go ahead and get the item decks placed and with the item indicators and all the A and B locations on areas 1 and 2. And we've got Ada and Hunk on the board. We'll see you in game 1. Thank you guys for watching. Before we go, quick shout out to this channel's sponsor, Pontos Fathom Press. Go check out the Killingworth Bogman Saga. We have a bookstore link down below. As you guys know, the channel is not monetized, so appreciate you guys checking out our Patreon. For as little as $1, you can get some of our digital books, some Inside Baseball too, our painting videos, gameplay of Joan of Arc, Song of Ice and Fire. So go check it out, and it helps to support the channel. I'm trying to grow this to 1,000 subscribers, so appreciate it. See you guys in turn 1. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.